The word for crisis in the Chinese language is wei des. Wei stands for danger and des for opportunity. Yes, we have challenges, but those challenges are also pregnant with opportunities to re-engineer our society and build back better. The crisis has given us a unique opportunity, a unique window to invest on the people, especially on education, on gender empowerment initiatives, on smart agriculture, and leapfrog our economies into the fourth industrial revolution. I don't believe in aids. I believe in partnership. I would rather carry my poverty with dignity and deal with people and nations and companies on a pedestal of equality, not a master-servant relationship. I don't come with a begging bowl. My continent is the richest in the world, and the trajectory of global growth is facing Africa, and Nigeria will make or mar that transition. So I move in with confidence, with cautious optimism, with hope for a better tomorrow. But most importantly, I believe that the youth of Africa are the drivers of change in Africa.
The Minister of Works, David Umahi, has responded to a report by the Daily Trust newspaper claiming that the federal government has re-awarded the revoked section of the Abuja-Kaduna Highway to the tune of 250 billion naira to an inactive and obscure company called InfoQuest. Umahi clarified the report during a press conference held on Wednesday, stating that the contract was awarded to InfoQuest, not InfoQuest, as reported, and demanded a public apology from the Daily Trust to be published in at least 5 national dailies. Let's take a look.
What Daily Trust was talking about was InfoQuest. Somebody went and registered a company called InfoQuest. The company that we recommended for the job is InfoQuest. Beridisco and Q. So everything is international limited. So the InfoQuest is what the Daily Trust is talking about. We didn't give our job to InfoQuest. The Daily Trust owes Minister of Works very deep apology, because we didn't give job to the company they say we gave job. It amounts to demarketing the company. It amounts to inciting, the public against the Minister of Works. It amounts to create doubt in the mind of our boss, Mr. President. So they owe us that serious public apology in at least 5 newspapers.
All right, Rufy on fire. I mean, they always say that, we journalists are the fourth realm of the estate, and we have to, verify our sources and be sure before we report. I mean, he has asked for a public apology from the Daily Trust newspaper. But you did see this story. It was trending everywhere. And we've been hearing reports whether or not the actual company that he has just announced is an active company or a company that can, be responsible for such an award.
So let's ask a couple of questions. Number one, if an award is given to a company like that, what was the initial pedigree of the company? What's the account balance of that company? He might say there's been a mix-up in the names, but what's the pedigree of that company? Because we've seen companies being given multi-billion contracts in the last administration where they don't even have the capacity to handle them.
IRA is doing the Lord's work right now.
So let's
CAC
also check that. So what's the capacity of this company?
Yes.
How long has it been around?
Yes.
And all of that.
Those are the questions.
Those are the questions we should be able to ask. Also, let's go one step further and even investigate. What was the due process behind that contract? Was there an open bid? Because till date, Mr. Umahi has not answered the question, why a certain company was given the contract for the coastal road? He said, hitherto, they knew that they had capacity. But the question is, did he follow due process like we always say? And you remember how we also asked for environmental assessment. They delayed for a while before they said, they had actually granted it. So there's been a lot of back and forth. So before he's so quick to say that, they should apologize, let us do more research and let investigators get on it. And in the case where we do more research and he says that Umahi is right, the paper should give him his apology. I mean, there's no big deal about that.
Yeah.
But before this, we must also, because you see, there's been a lot of back and forth as regards error. This same Mr. Umahi came out recently to say that Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway was put in the budget, but it was deemed as Lagos Port Harcourt Highway. And somebody looked for a very important project like that.
Yeah.
Because it was expert affairs reviewed and said it was a typographical error. This same Mr. Umahi said that most of the roads will have been fixed by December. Most of the roads are still in deplorable conditions. But let us just all investigate. And why are we doing it? Because we want a great level of sanctity and sanity. Because in that Nigeria's federal budget, you see a lot of shenanigans going on.
Yeah, it's all about transparency.
So,
what did you find out, Ayo?
If Mr. Umahi is proven right, definitely he deserves the apology.
Well said. What did you find out?
So in fairness to him, there is a company registered with a registered address in Abuja. However, it was registered in 2001, October of 2001. 2001, yes. However, for a company of that size, which would get that kind of budget, talking about track record, they don't have a website.
Okay.
They have a Facebook page with some pictures of some things being constructed. But for a company that's been around for 24 years, not a lot is on it, aside from this contract award that's been given to it. Yeah.
Well, the company, the contract was initially awarded to Julius Berger
for contract of that
and that was controversial because Julius Berger said they cancelled it.
Yeah, they cancelled it because of what? Is it inflation or the prices were going higher?
This is a straightforward matter.
Okay.
All these long stories, I don't think we need to waste time. There are two sides of the story. Daily Trust published front page doing investigative journalism to say the Ministry of Works gave contract to this particular party, a particular company that does not exist. They trace the address to some fake location. The minister comes forward and says, look, there has been a misrepresentation here. There has been an identity problem. And it is not true. Now, the minister now says on the basis of that, he needs an apology in 5 newspapers and a retraction. Now, investigative journalism is the most brilliant thing that journalists can do. But journalists can also make mistakes. Now, if you look at the name, one is InfoWest, one is InfoWest, and the minister even said, in fact, there have been issues over that name registration and all of that. So it's now for us to hear from Daily Trust to say we stand by our story or we have an apology. We don't know all the details. So things like this happen. If a newspaper makes a mistake, it can retract. But if a newspaper says, no, we stand by our story, then that's the next leg of it.
We'll wait to hear from the Daily Trust then.
And just before we go, before we sign out now, I just saw something from Minister David Umahi. He says, good morning, Dr. Abati. I just listened to your morning show with Oji Okpe. Let me correct the impression that the company has not done big jobs before. This company has done big jobs for FCT and Federal Ministry of Water Resources many times. Again, the process of reward followed due process, and even Julius Berger was invited to bid, but they declined. Interesting to note that this same company we recommended for award of Abuja Kaduna Kano job was the company that hired most of the equipment Berger was using on same job. So no one can say that the recommended company is not competent to do the job, and in any case, Nigeria should hold me accountable. Me, that's David Umahi, not me, on the performance and quality of that project. Congrats for good job you people are doing. I will appreciate if you can correct this impression in this program, please. So, Ojiokwe,
that is his own side of the story. We still wait to hear from the Daily Trust. Well, all right. Thank you for that.
Although most Nigerians were saying, oh, the VP is making sense, he spoke in Chinese to be able to pass that statement to them, he spoke in good faith and very bold, they didn't know this man was this articulate and all. Some have dragged him to say, what is the meaning of that? You know that what you are saying, you are not going to implement it. Why are you not saying it? See, the thing is, it's not nice for a government to make the people of the country not to believe in them. With all the long essays he said and all of that, they still do not want to believe him. They still take him seriously. That's why it's good as a leader to be a person of your word. As for Minister David Umahi, people are even beginning to look at this man one certain thing. He's the same man that revoked lands for the African Americans and most Nigerians in diaspora. And now they have given the Abuja-Kaduna road to somebody who is their allies, to a company that is not existing. And now he's trying to defend the name. You guys, somebody have said on the comment section, he say it's only gullible people that will believe that the same name that sounds alike, they'll quickly go and rush it and give it that. The government quickly went to rush to register a name that sounds like that so that they would think, people will say it's the other one that is fake, while this other one they are talking about, it's original. That they should stop confusing people, that very soon this scam will come out. You guys remember that aeroplane scam, that till today Buhari's government is still facing the shame. You guys remember? Well, we are here to watch all of them with our eyes open. What's it like?